Hi there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by, thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today, what are we going to do? Well, we have a bit of vocabulary for you guys, French loanwords in the Dutch language. But before we do that, remember to give the like, subscribe to the channel if you want more content, and let me know in the comments if this is useful for you or not. But without much further ado, let's go straight for our vocabulary exercise. Alright, so before we start, what I would like to say is that most of these words, these French words, they are used in Flemish. I mean, in the Netherlands, in Dutch, of course, there's also some words which are being used, like the one you see in front of you, that would be chic or chic, if you write it in the Dutch way, and that would be fancy, posh, or elegant. When you say that is chic, that means that's fancy, that's posh, that's elegant, can also be that's very nice. So basically, I was just saying that most of these French loanwords will be used in Flemish, so in the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium. As you know, French is also an official language of Belgium, together with Dutch and German. So basically, we mix and match from time to time. So if you live in the Netherlands, sometimes some of these words you will not recognize because most of them they will be used in Flemish. Alright, so we did chic. Chic is fancy, posh, elegant. That is chic, that is fancy, that is posh, that is elegant. And you can write it both ways. You can write it the more French way, or you can write it Dutchified. Right? Okay, we shall continue, and then we have pardon. In French, of course, it would be pardon. However, in Dutch, we change the pronunciation a little bit, and it's pardon, and pardon would be excuse me. Right? We continue, and that one would be quite Flemish, I think. Also a little bit dialect, and that's het trottoir. Het trottoir, that would be your sidewalk in the Netherlands. They won't use a French word, and most of the time they will say de stoep. Alright, we continue, and that one is the confiture. Confiture, I think, again, more used in Flemish, in Belgium, than in the Netherlands, and the confiture, that would be jam. Alright, the confiture is jam. We continue, and then this one is quite dialect, and again, most widely used in Flanders. It's not an official word, it's a dialect word, de vélo, that would be the bicycle, right? The exact same as in French. However, the correct Dutch word, which you will see in Belgium and in the Netherlands, will be de fiets. We continue, and then het kostuum, again more used in Flanders than in the Netherlands. Het kostuum, that would be suit. In the Netherlands, most of the time you will see het pak. Het kostuum, however, is a suit in Flemish, and also more dialect than official language. Alright, then that one is de branche. De branche is the professional domain, and that one is used officially, so you can count it as an official Dutch word. You'll find it in the dictionary. De branche is the domain. So for instance, in welke branche werk jij? In which professional field, in which professional domain do you work? Alright, we shall continue, and then we have the crèche. The crèche, that would also be mostly used in Flanders, and that would be a day nursery. Alright, de kinderen gaan naar de crèche, of the babies gaan naar de crèche, is the babies, the children go to the day nursery. Alright, we continue, and then the coiffeur, again, a little bit more dialect based, again, mostly used in Flanders also, in dialect. And then the coiffeur would be your hairdresser. Of course, you know, the correct Dutch word would be the kapper or the kapster. However, the coiffeur is widely used. And then the next one, again, Flanders all over the place. The camion is a literal translation, or basically the same word from the French language, and the camion, that would be a lorry or a truck. The correct Dutch word, of course, that would be de vrachtwagen. However, camion, especially in Flanders, you will hear it everywhere. And then, of course, the café. That one is a bar and a pub, quite important in Belgian culture, in the Netherlands also, of course. So the café, that would be your bar or your pub. All right. We continue, and then we have de étage. De étage, that would be your floor or a story. De étage, that can also be een verdieping. So the correct Dutch word, or let's say the more pure Dutch word, as you can call it this way, would be de verdieping. However, de étage is quite commonly used, and that would be the floor or the story. We continue, and then faillite or faillissement, both of them mean bankrupt or bankruptcy, coming from French, and we have applied it into our own language. So faillite is bankrupt. You can also say bankrupt. Okay, the next one is gênant. Gênant, coming from French also, coming from the word gêne, which can be like shame. If you translate it literally to English, well, gênant would be your adjective, and if something's annoying and also embarrassing, then you will say that is gênant, that is embarrassing. All right, we use it quite often also. We continue, and then basically when something is shady or devious, we will say that is louche. Louche is basically coming from French, and in French it's used in the exact same way. When something is shady, when something is devious, then you will say that is louche. Alright, we continue, and then basically we have the parasol. The parasol would be a kind of a sunshade, can be an umbrella to protect you from the heat and the rays of the sun, or the luminosity of the sun. So basically that would be your sunshade umbrella, right? And then of course, if we have parasol, we have parapluie, and the parapluie, that would be an umbrella widely used in Flanders, but also in the Netherlands. Parapluie is an umbrella. We continue, and then also the porte-monnaie. The porte-monnaie, that would be your wallet. If you would translate it literally from French, porter is to carry, monnaie, that would be money, so something that carries money, so that would be your wallet, the porte-monnaie. Okay, and then we continue with de premier. De premier is the prime minister. Of course, in Dutch we'll say de eerste minister. However, in official Dutch, in Flanders and in the Netherlands, sometimes you will see the word premier for prime minister. Alright, and then the last one is de revanche, and the revanche, that is basically vengeance. Alright, you will see it a lot more in Belgium than in the Netherlands. Basically, when people talk about sports, for instance, so basically when one team loses and they have another game against the same team, then basically they can go for vengeance, then they can look for the revanche. Alright, so this is something we use again more in Belgium than in the Netherlands. Alright, so basically these were the 20 French loanwords in the Dutch language, mostly Flemish language, I have to say, which we use quite often. I hope this was useful for you. I hope you recognize some of these words as you go along, or maybe you've heard some already when you were speaking Dutch with mostly Belgian people. I want to thank you for watching. Give it a like if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. I want to thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao.